scientists smell, and you are watching Atheist Edge.
Hey guys, welcome back. TJ again, and this will be a continuation of my conversation and some footage and audio with Officer Chuck on our ride along. Enjoy. All right, so we're back on the road. Earlier we had to take a little break because we were talking to a victim. We had a vehicle vandalism, possible theft. So we were dealing with that, doing a report, and now we're back on the road. We've had our lunch for the day, and we're back at it again. We're going to be stopping by the station to do some paperwork here in a minute, but I wanted to talk to Officer Chuck a little bit about and get this kind of stuff out of the way, because we always want to try to get people's deconversion stories if they're willing to talk about them with me. So if you would, Officer Chuck, would you kind of take us through how you kind of came? Now you do identify as an atheist, right?
Yes.
Just so we could establish that. Okay. So how did you, what was your road to accepting that label for yourself, and how did that come about?
Well, I had a very good friend of mine, and I knew he was Catholic. We were not really anything. And I would go spend the night at his house, and then on Saturdays, and so on Sunday mornings, we'd go to Sunday school over at his church. And, most of the time, we just kind of, just goof it off. I mean, we're kids. Don't know where we're going. Don't really care. I just knew I had to pack a slightly nicer shirt when I went over to his house.
All right.
So I remember all of us was in Sunday school talking with the youth pastor, or the priest, or whoever the hell it was, and I can't remember the question, but I remember raising my hand to an answer of a question that he asked, and I said, "Well, what about the dinosaurs?" And he skipped me over. He just kind of completely dismissed me.
Oh.
I was like, "Well, maybe I didn't say it loud enough." What about the dinosaurs?
Right.
And he made eye contact with me and dismissed me again. And then he went to another kid, and I guess he had the right biblical answer. And so I had my hand out. I was like, "What? Doesn't make no fucking sense." And then, because I remember there was learning about two different histories. There's the biblical history, and then there's
the fossil record, the actual history.
The history.
Yeah.
So, and I had a hard time kind of separating the two, because, the story of, creation, 7 days, like, 7 days? What about the millions of years?
Yeah, what about the Earth being 4.5 billion years old? Whatever happened to that?
I didn't know about that. I mean, I'm less than...
Right, you knew it couldn't be 6,000 to 10,000 years.
Yeah, actually, I was a little older than 10, maybe like 11 or 12.
Right, yeah.
But, and then that made me question a bunch of other stuff.
Okay.
Santa Claus, Tooth Fairy, blah, 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 blah.
Right.
Werewolves, because at the time, there was a TV show called something about werewolves, and we always thought that was real because it was fun.
Yeah.
But none of that crap was real. It was like, and then that started the whole snowball effect.
Yes.
And it's like, everyone has their own religion. It can't all be right.
That's a good point. They can't all be correct, right? Because they contradict one another pretty hard.
Yeah. So.
But it could be that none of them are correct. That's a possibility.
That's a very good possibility.
That is a possibility that none of them are correct.
Except for dudism.
Dude, I'm a Dudist priest, so what's up?
Really?
Yes.
Awesome. My mom is a Dudist priest. My mom's friend is a Dudist priest.
Hell yeah, the dude abides, man.
The dude abides.
The dude abides.
Yes.
Good
It's
shit.
more just a lifestyle.
Right, yeah.
I guess I haven't looked into it too much.
Kind of just letting things be as they are, man, and just letting people kind of go with the flow and do their own thing.
Yeah.
Just be cool, man.
Yeah. And try to be less of an asshole than you were the day before.
Yeah, try to be.
That's it. I need to.
That's a dudism, yeah.
It is? Okay.
Yeah.
I need to get something like that and put it above my toilet.
Yeah, you can even get your, they'll even send you your certificate so you can be an officiant at weddings, a legal officiant at weddings.
Yes.
So, yeah.
And that's what happened with my mom and her friend.
It is considered a legit, recognized religion.
It is. I looked it up yesterday.
Yep. So
that's...
well, let me ask, so it was more or less, okay, I just want to make sure that I have it clear in my head so that I'm catching or picking up what you're laying down. So you're saying it was basically you were being taught these things in these Sunday school classes. You had some questions because you knew about things that supposedly predated these things that are talked about in the Bible, like Adam and Eve and Noah. But then you know of things like dinosaurs and the Earth being much older than what they say it is.
Yeah, at the time,
in the church.
At the time, I didn't really think about how old the Earth was.
Right.
Because I'm like 11, 12. But I know that it was millions of years old because dinosaurs lived 65 million years ago.
Right.
Just that number was just huge, and I couldn't really comprehend it.
Right. So you knew it had to be more than what they were saying, for sure.
Oh yeah.
Right. So let me ask you: was there any media along the way, or books that you maybe read, or things, or skeptics that you listened to, or maybe radio shows out of Austin, Texas, maybe that you that listened to that might have influenced you a little bit?
Remember Yahoo Answers?
I do.
Yeah. So I was on Yahoo Answers, just cruising through, just looking at some of these silly questions that people were asking.
Right.
And one of them was a guy from somewhere in the Middle East, probably Saudi Arabia, saying, hey, I was watching this show called Atheist Experience, and now I'm having questions about my own faith.
Right.
And then there's other people on there that were commenting. It's like, don't listen to those shows. Stay true to your faith. I'm thinking, the guy wants to learn. So I looked up Atheist Experience on YouTube and found the videos fascinating. It's like, these people are awesome. And I almost went. I didn't have time because I worked on Sundays, so I couldn't go to their after hours deal all the way in Austin. So
yeah,
but I've always wanted to go. And then I was listening to one show, and there was another atheist called in. It's like, yeah, I want to try to learn more about other like-minded people. And they says, hey, look up like meetup.com and try to find those groups. And so I was like, hey, that's not a bad idea. And so I looked up one, happened to be Metroplex Atheist. This was...
Oh, okay.
Oh, man, what year is this?
I was about to say, this seems like it might be very recently for you that you actually started using the label atheist.
Yeah. Yeah, because I didn't really think about it.
Right, yeah.
I didn't really... Okay, sure, atheist. Fuck it. I just never thought of myself as an atheist or even just a label of anything.
Right. You just knew you didn't believe in a God. Believe that a God existed.
Yes.
Okay.
And so then I looked up meetup.com, and this was 2010 or 11. I'm sure. And found out about Metroplex Atheists meeting up at their usual spots on their usual days.
Yeah.
So
how's
I
your
there and introduced myself, and
well, that's what I wanted to know. I mean, how's your experience been interacting with those folks so far? I mean, have you had
fantastic?
Okay.
Fantastic.
Cool.
I've only had a couple of issues with A couple of people, but those people are no longer members.
Okay. Yeah. I mean, every group has their, you know,
yeah. It's just
troublemakers
like,
sometimes. I mean,
it's the same thing with the police department.
I bet. All right, well, we're going to take a short break. We're going to go in here and fill out some paperwork. We'll probably start up again when we get outside, and we'll continue the conversation. All right, stay tuned, guys. Gotcha. So I guess it gives us an opportunity to maybe continue with the conversation that we're having before we took a little bit of a break there.
Right.
So yeah, all right. So as far as this is where we've gotten to, you had a friend that you typically spend the night with when you were younger, that you guys would go to his church at Sunday school in the mornings on Sundays, and you had questions that arose during those Sunday school classes on a regular basis. So that kind of led you down the path of asking more questions about things. You started having more doubts. You said at the beginning you weren't raised in a religious household yourself, right?
No, we went to church on Easter twice.
Yeah.
And I think that's because my grandparents were in town. And that's it.
So you were almost you didn't use the label, but I would almost consider you a cradle atheist, because you guys really didn't come up with religion too much growing up. So that seems like that would be the kind of situation you were in. But
and we had a family member. I remember she was talking to me. Right now she's religious.
Right.
But as I was growing up with her, because I would hang out with her a lot, I'm not sure what sparked the conversation, but I think I might have asked her about it, and she says we don't talk about religion, politics, and race.
it's kind of weird.
Okay.
Yeah, it's kind of strange to me that we that's where we've gotten to as a society, where we can't, instead of teaching people how to talk about those concepts and those subjects, we just tell people not to talk about them, and I think that's actually kind of hurting us.
It's hurting us a lot because we don't know how to deal with those issues when they actually come up.
Right, and they do come up. So I think, and I think that to act like that they don't exist is really kind of a bad thing. It kind of takes us back in our progression. We should be able to talk about things, have conversations. Yes, disagree with each other if it arises, but we should also be able to be civil with people and just have conversations.
Yes.
So, and I love that we're here, we're able to have these conversations. If we don't necessarily totally agree on things, we'll still talk about it and have a nuanced discussion and talk about why we're for or against certain things, and we can still walk away from the discussion, shake hands with each other, and be friends afterwards even.
Yes.
So I think that's very, very important, and that's something that we really push on the channel is building bridges with people, finding common ground, and of course we try to have as much fun as we can along the way. So but yeah, okay, so you were talking about you recently had so you had a family member you're actually discussing this kind of stuff with, but they kind of shut the conversation down because
it was a long time ago. Like I said, I was still a kid. So
Okay.
It had been like 20 or 30 years ago.
Right. Okay. Safe to say you're in middle age right now, somewhere around there.
Yes.
Okay.
I'm middle-aged.
Middle-age-ish. I got you. Okay. Cool. I was trying to just get some frame of reference for the viewers out there. All right. So, and then after that, you said it was many years after that you started kind of these subjects kind of came up again for you. You were on Yahoo Answers. You were talking on internet message boards and stuff like that, obviously. And then you came across somebody who mentioned the Atheist Experience show with Matt Dillahunty and those guys down in Austin with the ACA and all that. So that kind of, you're saying that kind of precipitated you to asking more and more questions and kind of exploring this label that they kept talking about, atheist, that you never really thought about using the label before?
Yeah, I mean, I guess there's also there's a scale on how much of a theist or
the Dawkins scale.
Yeah, that's what it is.
Yeah.
So I lean very heavily to the Dawkins. So that
Right,
in
to
the
this,
spectrum.
what is it, the 7 that you believe that no gods exist, and you're almost 100% certain
Yeah.
that no gods exist?
Yeah.
Okay.
So I didn't really need. I mean, it was good to learn a little bit more about it, but
Right.
I didn't have a whole lot of extra self-discovery.
Right, okay, yeah, you kind of already knew what your position was. It just took somebody else saying the things that you already thought and felt to get there as far as taking the label onto yourself.
Yes.
Okay, good. Well, that's cool, yeah. I mean, I feel like I was kind of the same way. Like, I never really thought about religion too much. I grew up as a fundamentalist Baptist. I went to church all the time. I was very religious when I was younger. But then as I was in the military for many years, and then kind of just through being in the military and other things kind of just slid out of my faith. You know, stopped going to church, and it was kind of a longer process for me where I did the same thing you did, kind of, where I started listening to people on YouTube, you know, watching YouTube videos and listening to people on internet message boards and stuff. So yeah, I think we kind of had a little bit of a similar experience. And then I finally was just like you. I said to myself, look, these guys are saying exactly how I feel. Hitchens and Matt Dillahunty and Seth Andrews and all these guys. I'm like, you know what? They're saying the exact way I feel about things. So I think I'm an atheist. That's how I came to it eventually.
With the exception of Hitchens, because I just don't have that vocabulary.
Oh, he's definitely.
And that
just the way he says things, like his polemicism, like he's just so wordsy and just he's very, very articulate. He says he's able to say exactly what he means and have a bite to it at the same time.
I know, and this sounds so classy.
It does, yeah. It's that English posh accent that kind of gets me. It's like, man, this guy is so freaking smart. And what a tragedy it was to lose him.
It was.
You know?
Even though he did a lot of his interviews when he was just a shit-face.
Yeah, he liked Johnny Walker, man. He liked to drink his scotch and smoke his cigarettes. So,
but I mean, that's where he was most uninhibited and comfortable.
Yeah.
So, and then you see her other interviews with him when he had cancer.
Yeah, when he had the cancer.
And he wasn't drinking, and it was like, man, it's kind of boring.
Yeah, I think he free-willed a little bit better when he had the little bit of the drink in him.
Yeah.
So, but definitely. That makes me think of a story that I heard about him one time. I can't remember who was telling the story. It might have been Sam Harris. I think it was Sam Harris. And Sam Harris was telling a story about Hitch, how he invited Hitch over to the house. Hitch came over to the house, of course, bottle of Johnny Walker in hand, in tow, and Sam Harris told Hitch, he told Christopher that, hey, I don't really want to have alcohol in the house, so I can't let you come into the house if you're going to have that bottle with you. And Hitch proceeded to say, okay, sat down on Sam's porch and proceeded to drink his bottle. Until Sam actually finally kind of relented and was like, all right, I don't want you sitting out here all night, so you can come in, that's fine. And so finally Sam let him come in with his bottle. But yeah, I thought that was funny that, it's like he definitely had his routine. He had his thing that he did. And yeah, I mean, he ended up paying for it in the end with the cancer and everything, but...
Oh, that's a nice...
Oh, yeah. Plymouth or something, maybe. But so that's interesting. I think, I almost kind of feel like I have a similar story to you, man. Like I was listening to all these people, just like you were, that kind of were saying what I felt, and it's eventually I was just like, you know what? Yeah, I'm an atheist, and it seems like you kind of went that route too.
Yeah.
And so we were also talking about. You've had some experiences in Metroplex Atheist, interacting with people, making some friendships, meeting people, interacting with us, me and Jim from the channel. So, did you get the impression that we generally tend to try to be fair and balanced with people, or what would your assessment of the channel be?
I would say so.
Okay.
Just a second.
Okay, yeah, I got you. Yeah, we're gonna check this out right here. This is pretty cool looking. Look at this, guys.
How you doing? Everything all right? Yeah.
That's pretty. I like that car.
Yeah.
Oh, it's an Impala.
And this is 71, right? 73.
You were close.
I was close. Well, it looks good, man. It'll look better when it's actually driving, though. All right, well, good luck, man. All right.
So yeah, I didn't want to point the camera that direction, but so we just we pulled up on a 73 Impala, really nice paint job, really fixed up, man. And we'll get I'll do it out the side, out this side, so I can get it. So we'll give you a view of this vehicle, this beautiful machine here.
Hydraulics on it.
Oh yeah, he's got it pimped out for sure. Look at this. Yeah, it's pretty cool. So yeah, making sure everything is alright. The guy overheated apparently, so awesome. But now, I'm sorry, I haven't listened to your guys' show. I've heard little bits and pieces of it. Yeah.
And based on you, Jim, and
Courtney's our female host's name, and then Chris is the other host, the tall guy.
Yes. You guys seem very good, cool, and fair.
Thanks.
I've talked to each of you on a one-on-one basis. So
right.
I'm not getting any type of negative feedback or anything like that. I know Jim likes to ask a lot of questions. That's fun. Yeah.
I kind of am the same way too. Like my approach when I try to talk to people, maybe even, especially if it's people I know I probably have some disagreement with, I try to do the questioning approach, the Socratic method.
Yes.
So where you kind of ask people questions that kind of gets them to examine their own beliefs about things, so that way maybe if they have some sort of disconnect or they're incorrect about something, it gets them thinking about their own positions.
Yeah.
So yeah, me and Jim kind of definitely try to go towards that, asking questions method of interviewing people, as opposed to, you just see way too many like journalists and YouTubers out there just basically injecting their own like opinions and just saying, oh, this is what I think, or you're wrong about that, instead of just asking people questions about things.
Yeah.
So I think our method actually is a little bit superior to that. So that's why we try to be different. So, but yeah, definitely.
Don't necessarily have a bias.
Right. Yeah. Well, we definitely have our positions on things.
Positions, but you're open to questions and
yes,
not that hard-nosed on minor issues.
Right. Yeah. We try to keep the focus on the big ticket items if we can, and if on the little stuff, there's always nuance and there's always room to have a conversation. So. Go ahead. Oh.
No, I'm looking for a car that looks like that, but it's missing its rear bumper.
Oh.
Because there are suspects in a burglary.
Oh, wow.
Vehicle burglary. So, that happened yesterday. I know they're crawling around.
I gotcha.
And since they're by a church,
right. How fitting that we
yes.
decided to do this today.
Yes.
With all the churches and stuff in session.
So, this intersection is a little dangerous.
Okay. Looks like we may have a call to go to, possibly.
They haven't updated it yet. So yeah, this particular intersection, people just blow right through the stop sign.
Oh.
And there's been a few accidents here. So I hit this area kind of hard. I think some days I feel like I've milked it really dry because everyone's stopping. It doesn't matter where I sit. I've had people right in front of me, as I'm about to pull out and
They just blow right through it.
sail right through.
Yeah.
The ones that do the little California rolls,
Yeah.
I'll stop them, check them out, but it's the ones that really blow through it that I'll write them up for it. Because one of the benefits of having everything on camera is, goes to court, and if they try to lawyer up, their lawyer sees it, it's like, oh yeah, you definitely.
He's got you. Yeah.
So it's like, yeah, I did just plead out, not do anything at all.
Yeah.
You don't have a case. So that's also one of the reasons why I haven't been to traffic court in maybe about 5 or 6 years.
Yeah.
So
They don't usually contest it. Yeah.
And especially now, since a lot of my other coworkers, they don't go to traffic court very often either. Come to think of it,
People just paying their fines.
paying their fines or getting some sort of deferred adjudication or something, or work out some sort of deal with the judge.
Take a course, whatever it is they do. Yeah. It almost looked like he was going to.
Yeah. I missed that black car. I was looking at the red truck. I'm sure once we review that, we'll see that black car definitely ran it, but I was looking right at that other truck and not paying attention to it.
Yep. It's hard to see that SUV. That other white one is in behind him.
I usually sit here for about 6 or 7 minutes.
Yeah.
Mosey on.
Make sure everybody's being safe.
Yeah. I'll probably go hit another hotel area. Sniff around there and see if
You got anything going on there?
yeah.
So I was going to ask you, what is your insignia? What does that represent? Like, is that your rank?
No, that's notates what field.
Oh, okay.
Because I'm in patrol.
Okay.
So they have other officers that some are red. That notates that they're in traffic enforcement.
Those are the guys that'll write you the tickets.
Like that guy.
Right there we go. All right. There we go. Looks like we got a white SUV.
That's what now. 2300.
Go ahead.
Kingsfield Yard, 7181. Maybe at 3300.
So we got blew the stop sign back there. We're gonna get a traffic stop here. pretty cool. They can now just insert your, what he's doing, he's just inserting the ID into the computer and brings up all suspects' information. Pretty cool. A lot quicker than all that stuff used to be.
Yep, unfortunately, I still write everything old school.
Oh, do you?
Yeah.
You don't do the printout thing?
No,
I know.
I can. I just haven't taken the course for it. So
it's a cert that you got to get or something, huh?
yeah, well, sort of. I mean, yeah, it's personal choice.
I got you. Nothing wrong with doing things old school. I'm assuming that you were waving to the kiddos in the back seat,
Yeah,
probably.
she's got a small child back there.
Okay.
And she's doing okay.
123, your guys will 121.
Probably going to be a citation, right?
Yeah.
Unfortunately, yeah, there's no getting around that one.
No.
21 needed draft application.
She blew that thing.
No, ma'am. Thank you.
Yeah, normally I don't sit in the driver's seat and write these tickets.
Oh, you'd be in this seat doing it?
Yeah, I'd have the store open. Yeah.
Oh, because I got you. Yeah, so we've.
Might have some viewers making comments. Officer safety.
Yeah.
Yeah, true.
Well, unfortunately, he's got to keep his ward safe as well.
Yes.
He's made the right decision displacing himself before his passenger. Probably don't have anything to worry about anyway. She seems just like a mom heading somewhere with the kiddo. You're probably, and like I said, a lot of this footage is if it's not anything Jim thinks is that exciting or something like that, he might not include it anyway. I mean, it's because there's going to be a few hours of footage, so he's going to have to sift through a bunch of stuff as we're sitting here waiting for you to write a citation, and that might not be something he deems exciting enough to include. Now, man, if this lady would have taken off or something like that, and we got to get a little chase in or something, and that'd be something. Good thing too, because Officer Chuck would catch him. Boy, this thing's got a little bit of oomph to it, man. You put your foot on that, put your foot on the floor, and this thing moved. So do you like these squats as opposed to the old Crown Vics?
I'll talk more about that when I finish this.
Oh, I'm sorry, man. I didn't mean to distract you, man.
I got a lot to say about that.
Okay, okay. That's why you're like, let me have my full attention to bear on this thing right here. Gotcha. Going to inform our driver here that they've been summoned to handle this traffic ticket they're about to receive. Very efficient. Officer Chuck pulls over the driver very quickly, gets to the issue, comes back, runs the driver's info very quick in writing out the citation, and looks like we're about to get this driver on their way.
Go ahead, thank you.
Yeah, very quick and efficient traffic stop for Officer Chuck.
Okay, so
Ricky.
About the squad cars,
Yeah.
Crown Vics and everything.
Do you like these or do you like the old ones better?
I like these a lot. The new body style Tahoes, they're great. The frame seems stronger. It's got a bit more get up and go. I mean, it's not. I guess I don't think this one's geared for top end speed.
Yeah.
Because we really don't need it that much. I mean, we need those quick bursts of speed, so
Yeah.
it's probably very high gearing. It's a lot more comfortable than the old Tahoes of the previous generation, and it feels more stable. It's just a huge improvement.
Well, you heard it here. Superior vehicle.
The Crown Vic, I think Ford really screwed up because they had a good thing going, but it was just out of date. They could have kept the Panther platform, put better headlights on it first off, better cooling system, take their 5-liter Coyote engine off the shelf. It doesn't need to be they can even detune it a little bit, not by much, but detune it a little bit for durability.
Yeah.
Put a modern transmission into it, and a good rear end. Well, no, rear end would still stick with the live axle, or go independent rear suspension. But they had all of those parts on the shelf. All they had to do is just swap things out.
Right.
And you would have had a great vehicle, great patrol vehicle that people are familiar with, officers like to drive, that are still pretty comfortable and very stable at highway speeds. That's what I think Ford should do.
Oh yeah. You're hot rodding them around a lot because you're having to catch up to people and stuff like that. So you really put the vehicles through their paces.
There was something going on, but it got
taken care of while we were on that traffic stop.
pretty much.
All right, guys. So there you have it. That's the conclusion of our footage and audio and conversations with Officer Chuck. I hope you guys found it at least somewhat informative. You have at least an idea of what it's like, for a regular guy who's a cop, just patrolling the streets and trying to make the community a better place, try to make a difference, and hopefully you guys just see that which is what I found out, is that they're just real people out there doing a job that's sometimes very stressful and sometimes difficult, and hopefully this shined a little bit of a light into what it's like, just a normal day on the streets, being a beat cop. So, all right, thank you guys for watching.